Hi guys, it's Miss Eliza, and today we're going to do an ELA, that's an English Language Arts lesson, using our California Common Core curriculum at the second grade level. We're going to use two things from this curriculum. We're going to use our vocabulary cards right here, and then we're going to use those to connect to our Wonders Your Turn student practice book right here. So first, we're going to start off with vocabulary. Some vocabulary words at the second grade level. These might actually seem like, whoa, these are second grade. Yes, but your child does not have to know how to spell them. Maybe even might struggle a little bit reading them, but vocabulary is about meaning, knowing the word. When they hear the word, they'll know what it means. They won't say, "What's that?" And if they do, explain it. Vocabulary is so important. Constantly exposing your child, the kids around you, to language is just amazing in my opinion. So even though this is second grade, you can use it. Expose your first grader, expose your third or fourth grader these same words, because they're not always easy. And there are so many words in our English language, and we all know that reading can improve our child's academic success greatly. Reading does wonders, and that's what our curriculum happens to be called, Wonders. So here we go, we're going to start. So we have this first card. And remember, I've said it before in these lessons that the pictures, in my opinion, don't always match exactly what the word is, but just kind of use your imagination. So here we go. We have this word. Can you read it? Let's see. Can you read it? Can you look at the picture and decide maybe what it means, what the word is, how to say, how to read the word, how to sign the word? So this word is distance. Sign. Let's do that. Distance. So I'm going to read the definition on the back of the card, and then we'll discuss it. It says, if you see something from a distance, that means you see it from far away. So that's the sign. Distance. Distance is how far something is. What is the distance from your house to your school? That's something we measure. So in this picture, the little girl is waving kind of a distance to the other boat. So the girl and the boat have kind of a big distance between the two of them. So distance. Distance is how far something is, or seeing something afar. Distance. Next one. This is beautiful. So this says the earth resources. Resources. The earth resources. And I'll read the back. It says, earth resources are things found in nature that people can use. So maybe like water, trees. It's a lot of things in our nature that people can use. So we can use the water in many different ways, for fun, for survival. But that water, where does it kind of come from? From our nature. Mother Nature, we sometimes hear people say. So nature. Earth resources. is this? Well, we know that's a rhinoceros. But what size? Is this animal small and little? Nope. This is enormous. Enormous. I'm going to read the definition on the back. It says, something that is enormous is very large in size or amount. So you could have an enormous amount of money. Or you could see, or you could say, wow, that elephant is enormous. So enormous as an elephant is the size. Enormous amount of money means like an amount of something, how much you have of something. So enormous means really big. This one's cute. Looks like there's a little puppy. I would connect this word with like a newborn baby. When you're holding the baby, you're not going like this. No, you have to be gentle. Or gently hold the baby. So let's read. It says, if you do something gently, you do it carefully or lightly. Carefully or lightly. So as an example, I have this glass candle holder right here. It's glass. I can't just throw it. No. This is glass. You have to hold it gently so it doesn't break. Or like I said before, when a new baby is born, you hold the baby gently, soft. You don't shake the baby around hard, no. You have to be gentle, soft. So gently, hold the baby gently. This young girl looks like she just drew a picture and she's looking at it and she feels very proud. She's proudly, she proudly drew a beautiful picture. So let's say what the definition is. If you do something proudly, do the L-Y, proudly, you do it in a way that shows you are pleased with what you have done. So maybe you have a science project for school and you want to get that good grade. You want an A. You want your teacher to say, wow, that is amazing. So you do your work proudly. And you should do all your schoolwork and everything you do in life proudly. Proudly. Doing something proudly should always put on your face a smile. What is this? This is rarely. If something happens rarely, it does not happen often. Only a little bit, rarely. So I think I was trying to figure out the picture. I think I know now. So here we know for our land to be green, it needs water. Rain, water. So looking at this picture, we can probably say it rarely rains. Rarely rains. So that's rarely. This one. We see these at school. Looks like a classroom, or maybe your work area now at home. You have it set up with some crayons and some pencils and erasers. So I'm going to read, this is supplies. Supply. If you have a supply of something, you have an amount of that thing to use. So a supply. These are supplies for school. If you're doing a project at home, if you're building maybe a doghouse, you need supplies. You need the wood, you need maybe a hammer, some nails to hammer down, a measuring tape. So those are supplies, things you need to accomplish something. So maybe this is for your homework. You need pencils and color pencils as your supplies for your work. Okay, so we've reviewed these cards. So normally what we would do in class, after we review the vocabulary words, we discuss them, we take turns signing them, using our voice if possible, discussing again what they mean, giving examples. Then we look into our Your Turn student workbook. And we're going to do the vocabulary page connected with these cards here. So let's see here. I don't know if we can see this. Right here. Let me take this off. This is a little better. Oh, that's better. So, right up here, those are all the vocabulary words we just discussed. Actually, there's one here that I'm missing, I think. Let me see if it's in my cards over here. This is Unit 5, Week 4. Oh, found it. I forgot one. So let's go back a little bit real fast. Last one. This, the boy, he has like a present, a box that's all wrapped. He's listening, shaking it. What's inside? Because that boy is curious. He's curious. What is inside my box? Curious. Okay, so now we can go back to our workbook. So right here, we have the vocabulary words. And if you can see in the corner, this page is titled Vocabulary. So we know we just learned our vocabulary. Now let's see if we can apply it to this lesson, and then we'll know, oh yeah, we understand these words. This is good. Okay. So it says, read, so the directions. Read the story. Choose words from the box to complete the sentence. Then write the answers on the lines. So you see there's a story right here. Here's a story, and then there's blanks. It's missing words. We need to look up to these words, and we need to remember and think about the vocabulary words we just used and their meanings, and decide where these vocabulary words fit best. So I know it's tough for you guys to see. I don't know if we can kind of see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the sentence, first sentence, and then I'll say blank. And then we need to kind of think back to which word means or best fits in that blank. So real fast again, we're going to read these words though. These are vocabulary words. Curious. That means you want to know something. You're questioning, what's the answer? Where am I going on my next vacation? Here's a big one. When will COVID be finished? When can we go back to school? I am curious. We want to go back to school. When? I'm curious. When will all the stores open? When will the restaurants open? We're all curious about that. Distance. Oh, it's a stand. Distance. That's how far something is. Earth resources. This is what nature gives us naturally. What the earth and nature produces itself without the human person making it. Enormous. The elephant was enormous. Gently, we need to hold a baby. Gently, softly, carefully. Proudly, you need to always do your best on your work because we want you to feel proud. Proudly do your work every day. Rarely, that means not often. We could say, oh, California, it rarely snows. Sometimes, once in a while. I think I remember one time when I was in middle school. So rarely. Or I should say in this local area, in the Central Valley, it rarely snows. And then supply. Those are the things we need to accomplish something. So if I'm doing my schoolwork, I need to make sure I have paper, a pencil, an eraser, maybe some color pencils. If I'm building a house, I need wood, maybe a ladder, measuring tape. I need lots of supplies depending on what I am making or creating. So we reviewed those. Now it says, the first sentence says, let's see if we can kind of see this together. So it says, Sam, so we're just going to, his name sign, we're just going to give him an S right up here by his head. Sam was eager to learn or blank about coal. You know, coal that burns. Again, Sam was eager to learn about or blank about coal. So let's look. If you want to know something, which word did we say means, oh, I wanna know what's in that box. I wanna know when the stores are gonna open. Which word is that? It is curious. And I forgot my pencil. Let me go grab one real fast and I'll come back.
You done?
Got one. Okay. So, we've decided that the sentence or the word that best fits in the sentence is Sam was eager to learn or curious about coal. So he's curious. He wants to learn. So we wrote curious in there. Whoops. I don't know if you guys can see it. The next sentence said, he traveled quite a blank to the library. So obviously he wanted to learn. He was curious about coal. So he decided, where could I get information about coal? At the library. So he maybe had his mom drive him, or maybe he walked, rode his bike, skateboarded, I don't know, something. So he traveled quite a distance. That is how far something is. So this is saying the library was kind of far, but he didn't care. He traveled, whether it was walking, skateboarding, riding his bike. He wanted to go to the library, so he traveled that distance. Okay, next sentence. There, meaning the library, there he found an blank book. Well, one little clue and a kind of a small lesson for this. That word N. When we need that word, there are two options, N and A. We know you use N when the next word begins with a vowel. And our vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So if you are talking about something, you would say a book. But if you were, and B for book, B, that's a consonant. If you were talking about an apple, apple, A is a vowel, one of those vowels, A, E, I, O, U, U. We wouldn't say a apple, you'd say an apple. So that right here is a little clue to let you know that whatever word is going to be on that line that's blank begins with a vowel, an A, E, I, O, or U. So, there he found an blank book. So maybe they're describing the book. So let's find an adjective. What about enormous? E is a vowel, so it would require the N before it, and it's an adjective that could describe the book. So there he found an enormous book. Perfect. Okay, we're getting there. It was about blank. Well, remember, he wants to learn about coal. Do you think that coal is an Earth's resource? Yes, it is. So if he found a book about Earth's resources, then coal would probably be in, information about coal probably be in that book. Okay, we added that word. The next one says, the book was blank used, so it looked new. So if I buy a book and it's new, that means nobody else used it. Or if you're at the library, obviously those books have probably been used, but some have been used a lot, so they look old. Some of those books have been used blank, so they look new. What word is kind of like the opposite of used a lot? So it's old. Rarely. Rarely means only a little bit. A few times. It was rarely used. And that is why it looked new. Sam did not want to rip the pages. So he turned them like that? No, he turned them gently. Good job. The opposite of rough, because the book already it looked new. He wanted to keep it nice and new looking. He learned that there is a blank of coal under the ground. So we talked about earth resources, and those are things that nature has made itself. And it's their things. So what word, and we could probably have crossed off. We have curious crossed off, distance crossed off, earth resources. Oops, I wrote the wrong word here. I was supposed to write enormous. I don't know why I wrote perfect. I was probably talking and signing at the same time and confused myself. Enormous. I wrote the wrong word a second time because I'm talking. It was a gently. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh no, I didn't. Really? I'm just talking and signing and writing all at the same time. I'm confusing myself, so I'm putting down the wrong words on the lines. But I've got it right now. So rarely, gently. So we have two words left. We have supply and we have proudly. So which word? He learned that there is a blank of coal underground. Proudly? No. Supply. They're resources we need, we use, and Earth has them under the ground. And last, Sam blank reported all he learned about coal in his class. So he probably had like a presentation. And I know we only have one word left, but let's think. Remember we said when you do your work, you should feel what? Proud. So Sam proudly reported all he had learned about coal to his class. So let's write that one in. So now we have a completed paragraph that includes our recently learned vocabulary. So I'm going to read it, the whole thing. It says, Sam was eager to learn or curious about coal. He traveled quite a distance to the library. There he found an enormous book. It was about Earth's resources. The book was rarely used, so it looked new. Sam did not want to rip the pages, so he turned them gently. He learned that there is a supply of coal underground. Sam proudly reported all he had learned about coal to his class. That's it. So again, we used our Common Core, California Common Core vocabulary words at the second grade level, and then we connected them to the vocabulary page in the Student Your Turn practice book.